Hi everyone, Colin here and welcome back. If you're like me, you would enjoy being outdoors and being around nature. And it's a pretty simple step to think, I wouldn't mind taking some of that nature back home with me. And if it's plants, well, that's not too difficult to do. Pot plants, terrariums, all in all, plants are pretty easy to care for. But one area that's not so easy of nature to care for is when it involves water. And if you want to keep some water indoors or outdoors in your home, there's a few things to learn about doing it. So with a gamer's wife, we're going to present some of the methods of keeping an indoor or outdoor water feature at home.
Hi, I'm a gamer's wife here with practical improvement tips for busy aquarists like you. And I am so thankful to Colin for inviting me to his channel to talk about different methods of fish keeping and how to maintain high water quality in aquariums. I first fell in love with Colin's aquariums when I saw those clown loaches in that heavily planted tank. So it is a huge honor to be able to work with him despite being in different countries. After you finish watching this video, don't forget to visit my channel, A Gamer's Wife, to hear Colin share about why clown loaches are so special and unique and a must-have for everyone's fish keeping bucket list.
First off, it must be said there are different ways you can look after water indoors or outdoors. There are different methods that you can use. So when people give you advice, you'll often get a different combination of each method and a different emphasis on which one's more important. Here, A Gamer's Wife, we'll start off with number one.
So let's talk about fish keeping method number one, the water change method. It is possible to keep water quality very, very high just by constantly changing it all the time. You'll see this with betta breeders who they separate their bettas into jars to prevent fighting. Well, those jars usually have no filters, so they must constantly be emptied and refilled to prevent fish from living in their own waste. You hear about discus keepers who do have filtration, but are still doing massive water changes all the time, like something like 50% every other day because of famous quotes like, "Dilution is the solution," or "If you suspect a problem, just do a water change." While this method is very simple and straightforward, generally it's pretty time-consuming and/or intensive on your water usage. I remember one time when I had an overstocked tank with axolotls, yes, I was a beginner, and I was having to change out tons of water all the time just to keep the nitrates at reasonable levels. What a time suck. Never again. Should have gone out and bought a bigger aquarium from the beginning.
Which brings us to method number two, which is live plants. Live plants can be growing either above the water or below the water, and either way, live plants are able to absorb the wastes the fish produce. And it's entirely possible to have nothing but live plants growing to keep the water very, very healthy for aquatic fish, amphibians, other creatures to live very healthy lives. So live plants are often spoken about and recommended because of their properties of purifying waste products from water. So yes, live plants are one of the methods that you can use to clean your water. But there are limits to how much and how quickly plants can do that.
Fish keeping method number three, the biological method. If you're a new fish keeper, you may or may not have been told to, quote, learn about the nitrogen cycle, or make sure you cycle your tank before adding any fish. This is referring to the fact that when your fish produce waste in your aquarium, it builds ammonia content in the water, which is poisonous to the fish. Thankfully, there are a couple forms of beneficial bacteria that will convert that harmful ammonia into a less harmful nitrate, or nitrate compounds. These types of bacteria will generally live on the surfaces of anything in the tank, from the walls to the substrate to the decor and aquarium. But aquarium hobbyists have learned that we can foster the growth of beneficial bacteria by using filter media with lots of surface area. For example, you can buy ceramic rings, bio balls, or even filter sponge will work. by establishing a healthy amount of beneficial bacteria in your fish tank. The fish's ammonia will be entirely converted into less toxic nitrates, which means you can go longer between water changes and avoid the challenges mentioned in method number 1.
And that brings us to method number 4, which is a combination of each of the others. And this is by far the most popular method that we all keep, which is some water changing, some live plants, bacteria and a special filter designed specifically for bacteria to live in. And the only difference really is for each different type of tank which way we have more or less of those 3 methods. The degree to which we do change water will often depend on how readily available water is, how expensive that water might be, how much extra attention it might take to change it to suit us regarding, is it warm enough, is it full of minerals, or is it lacking in minerals? What do we have to do to get the water in the right shape for the purpose of the fish that we're keeping? So water changing will often be determined by a lot of different things for people in different countries and different cities as far as how readily available it is. Then when it comes to the filtration and the bacteria culturing that you use in your aquariums will often be determined by how many fish you're keeping, how often you will actually be there and how often you'll be away, so to what degree your equipment is looking after them while you're not there, and the filter media, again with how many fish and the size of the fish, what degree these fish actually produce waste. So with very few fish, not so important. With lots of fish, very important. So what kind of filter, what kind of filtration, what kind of media is often determined by the kinds of fish, the size of the fish, just how messy they're going to be, and how often you'll be home to do the work to maintain your filter, to give it cleans every few weeks or every few months. And as to whether plants are a part of the aquarium, it does depend on the types of fish. There are a number of fish who will absolutely destroy live plants. They love to eat them. So for those fish, it's very difficult to incorporate plants as part of the water care system. And for other fish, it may be that plants, again, don't like the water parameters. The discus fish really prefer hotter temperatures that plants don't really like well. And with a bare bottom tank, which discus are often kept for cleanliness, it's hard. But if plants are a key to keeping your aquarium, or even the main focus of the aquarium, then live plants will form a big part of the hobby. And learning how to keep plants, grow plants and keep them happy with lighting and fertilizing adds a whole new dimension to the hobby. So whatever the focus of your water feature, either in your home or outside of your home, there will be a method to keep it in very, very beautiful, healthy condition using one of those methods: changing of water, live plants, beneficial bacteria. Concentrating on one of those or combining them together, you are going to be able to keep some nature at your home that's going to give you a large amount of pleasure and enjoyment. So I want to thank you, A Gamer's Wife, for helping with this collaboration video and helping to explain that there are a confusing number of different ways to keep ponds and aquariums. You will hear different advice of how to do it, but when you get involved in it, you'll find it's not really that difficult. There will be a bit of each of these things you'll tend to use, and depending on what suits you for your time and for the money you want to put into it, you will end up with a result that you're very pleased with, and it's great for you and great for the whole family. So thanks so much to A Gamer's Wife for helping me with this collaboration video. Please go to this link below to subscribe to her channel, which is fantastic. And again, thank you so much for watching our channel. Until the next video, all the very best to you all. And if you haven't already, hit that notification bell and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Colin, it was so fun collaborating with you. Best of luck with your channel, and to all of your viewers, take time to enjoy your aquariums. Bye.